Once upon a time, in a busy city filled with noise, big cars, and bigger egos, there lived a man named Mofe. Mofe was not your everyday kind of man. He was short, not just short, but a dwarf, standing at just 3 feet and 8 inches. He was the size of a primary school pupil, but had the brain of 100 professors put together. People stared whenever Mofe walked past. Some pointed, while some laughed, mocking him. Some even whispered, "Now who born this one that is short like a Martina bottle?" But Mofe didn't send anybody. He had long accepted his size. After all, the God wey create rats no forget to give am speed. Mofe had thick curly hair like sponge, a round face with sharp eyes like torchlight, and a confident walk that made him look like a general in a war that he had already won. What Mofe lacked in height, he made up for in sharp brain and fat bank account. At age 25, Mofe was already a millionaire, and at 30, he was a billionaire. He owned several companies that deal in oil, real estate, import and export, and he even have a pepper soup joint in Lagos and Abuja. His business sense was sharper than his barber's blade. People called him Short Baba with long money. He was short, yes, but his money was long like Lagos traffic. But one thing pained Mofe: love. Every woman he asked out would smile at first, then laughed behind his back, or form busy. Some will even told him straight to his face, "You are too short." One girl told him, "I can't date you. My dog is even taller than you. You are as short as a Martina bottle. If we walk on the road, people will think you are my child. Abeg, I no fit." Mofe was pained to his bone marrow, but he just smiled and said, "Your dog no get money like me." Then he walked away. One day, something happened. Mofe went to a charity dinner. Those ones rich people organize when they feel guilty for being too rich. There he saw her, Jennifer. Jennifer was a very beautiful, fair lady. She was beautiful like 20 people joined together. Her skin was smooth like fresh bread that just came out from oven, and her eyes like soft boiled eggs. And her walk, it was like she was floating on the air. Men were lining up to greet her, like she was the president's daughter. But Mofe didn't send. He walked straight to her, confidently, like a soldier wey no fear gun. "Hello, beautiful," he said, smiling. Jennifer looked down, literally, and smiled back. "Hi," she said, her voice like ice cream on a hot day. They discussed and exchanged numbers. From that day, Mofe chased Jennifer the way suya seller chase customers with pepper. He called every single minute. He tested, sent gifts, took her on trips, and even bought her a car. At first, Jennifer was foaming, and her parents warned her to stay away from Mofe. They said, "Do you want to marry a dwarf? Are you mad? You want to be named the wife of a dwarf? I can see that you are out of your mind." Jennifer was confused at first if she wants to marry Mofe or not. But the day Mofe bought her a duplex in Lekki, Jennifer's heart melted like butter in hot pot. "Yes," she finally said, "I will marry you." But deep inside her heart, she did not love Mofe. She loved the comfort, the cars, the trips, the credit alerts that came like rain in rainy season. And she loved the luxury lifestyle. So she accepted to marry Mofe against her parents' warnings. They got married in a grand wedding ceremony that shut down the whole Lagos. People came not just to celebrate with them, but to confirm with their own eyes that Jennifer, the beautiful lady that all the young men in Lagos is dying to have as their wife, really got married to Mofe the dwarf. Na money she marry o, no be love, one woman whispered as she sipped her glass of red wine. But Mofe didn't care. He was deeply in love with Jennifer. He treated her like an egg made of gold. They traveled to Paris for their honeymoon, Dubai and Maldives, and even Asaba for Christmas. Of course, why not? He opened a big salon for her called Jennifer Touch and a clothing line called Jennifer's Closet. The business boomed and Jennifer was very excited. Mofe also bought landed properties, shops and shares for her in one of his company, all in her name. Jennifer was enjoying herself to the fullest, cruising around Lagos, living the big girl kind of life, living like a queen. Everything was going on perfectly for Mofe and Jennifer. However, 5 years later into their marriage, they had 2 children, a boy and a girl. But Jennifer was not happy. She was so sad because the children were both dwarfs. Jennifer cried her heart out the day the doctor confirmed that the children were dwarf. "God, why me?" she sobbed. But she did not show her sadness in public or to her husband. She still smiled and played the perfect mother. But inside, deep within her, she was boiling like over-soaked beans. 2 years passed and Jennifer had grown emotionally apart from Mofe, her husband. So one night, Mofe woke Jennifer up while she was sleeping and said, "My love," he began, holding her hand. "I want us to have one more baby. You know, maybe a tall one this time," he said jokingly. Jennifer snapped. "What? Another baby? I don't want to have another baby." "Why now, my love?" Murphy asked, looking confused. "I'm tired. I don't want any more children," she replied coldly. But deep inside her, the reason was simple. She couldn't bear to give birth to another dwarf. Murphy didn't argue. He just nodded, stood up and walked to the balcony, looking out at the city. The man who once had everything, money, power, love, or so he thought, suddenly felt small, not just in size, but in spirit. After weeks of silence and cold treatment, in the mansion, something finally broke. One night, as the AC hummed gently and the city outside was drowning in the night sound, Jennifer called Mofe. "Can we talk?" she said softly, tapping the side of the bed. Mofe looked up from his iPad. His face was tired. His eyes was heavy, but his heart still beats for this woman. Even if she had grown cold, he sat beside her. Jennifer took a deep breath. "My dear," she began, her voice calm. "It's not like I don't want to give you more babies, but I'm scared." "Scared?" Murphy asked, leaning in. "Yes, I don't want to give birth to another dwarf again." Murphy felt something in his chest, like a slap from an invisible hand. But he kept cool. Jennifer continued, "I have been thinking maybe we should use IVF, but with a donor, someone tall, with a strong gene. It's for the kids' future. You know what they are going through in school, the stares, the bullying, the mockery." Murphy sat quietly, his heart boiling, but his face was calm, like a bottled water. "So, Jennifer, you are saying we should use another man's sperm?" he asked slowly. Jennifer nodded. At first, Murphy refused. "No, never. Another man's sperm when I'm still alive? That's adoption with lies." But Jennifer did not give up. She came with science, emotion, fake tears, and promises. For weeks, she begged, cried, and even threatened to leave. After what looks like eternity, Murphy agreed, but with a condition. "If we are going to do this," he said, "you will never treat those kids differently. They will be mine in every way." Jennifer was so excited. She thanked him and kissed his forehead. "Of course, my love. I promise to treat them like mine," Jennifer said. So she got to work. She looked for a donor that is fit for what she wants. Unknown to Mofe that the donor was Jennifer's ex-boyfriend. The IVF was done, it was successful, and 9 months later, Jennifer gave birth to 3 plets, 2 strong boys and a girl. They were all tall, even as babies. Jennifer was overjoyed. She was excited. The media celebrated. Billionaire dwarf became a father of 3 plets. The headline said. Murphy was very excited. He was over the moon. He named them Kingsley, Kendrick, and Kamsi. He treated them like royalty, more than anything he had ever owned. He loved them to the moon. Their school fees were paid 2 years ahead. Their clothes were imported. Even their diapers was customized. If money could speak, he would say, "These kids na VIP." For a while, everything was perfect again. Jennifer smiled more. The house was lively. Murphy felt like a complete man. He would sit and watch them crawl and laugh. And sometimes he cried, not out of sadness, but joy. Hi, beautiful people of African Folktales by Ify Best. Thank you for watching my story till the end. What do you think about this story? Do you think that Murphy made the right decision for agreeing for Jennifer, his wife, to do IVF with another man's sperm? And what do you think? Will their joy and laughter last forever? See that in part 2. Please let me know your thoughts about this story in the comments section and where you are watching this story from. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. Bye until I bring another story your way. Love you all.